This was the 80s, well after so-called desegregation.
Exactly.
But I have several instances in my book that I interfered as the area superintendent to make sure that black students were getting an equal opportunity. Well, my schools were primarily in West Palm Beach.
Okay.
There were 24 schools.
Wow. Okay.
High schools, junior high schools, and elementary schools.
Okay.
Right. There were other instances, but they're in my book.
I got it.
That's the reason I want America to read this book.
Right.
It's not thing. I even define in this book what hell is. A lot of people don't really remember that because I was determined to provide services for children in schools, all children, that it was very, very difficult for me to do that because of tradition. There were many schools where black children were not permitted to participate. But whenever the situation was brought to me, either by the parent or the child, I dealt with it. I don't know if I'm answering your question.
Just go ahead.
But I felt that it was just necessary for me to do that. So they eventually refused to renew my contract.
Okay.
The interesting thing is, when the superintendent had a board meeting and decided that they were going to not renew my contract, the school board meeting that is usually here in West Palm Beach was moved to Jupiter, thinking that black people would not come. When I walked into that school where the meeting was being held,
Right.
there were black people all over the place. And every time the superintendent attended to get to that particular thing on the agenda, black people would begin singing, "We Shall Overcome." And that happened over and over and over again. And finally, it was explained that they had alerted the sheriffs with the dogs and whatnot, and that they're hoping that nothing would happen. And so that they were able to not renew my contract.
Okay.
And that's when I began to explore other things.
Okay.
And of course, I was the director of minority business programs.
Right.
It was either that I should leave West Palm Beach, which I love,
Right.
or find other employment. And so I became director of minority business programs for first for the South Florida Water Management District, and then later for the city of West Palm Beach.
Okay.
And I have a chapter in here because I'm disappointed with the city of West Palm Beach, because now they no longer have a minority business program. County still has its program, but West Palm Beach does not have a minority business program, and that's very unfortunate. It's been quite an interesting thing for me, because God has really been on my side, and He has enabled me to find the kind of employment that I could just make something of and enjoy it.
Right.
I have dedicated one of my chapters to this because I think there's a great misinterpretation as to what hell is.
Okay.
Now, hell, most people think hell is a place. I think hell is a condition. And therefore, I have outlined very succinctly what hell is. Now, this is the part that people need to understand, because hell is part of everyone. Things like when you're on drugs or drink alcohol every day, hell is upon you. When you are incapable of loving, hell is upon you. When you do not do unto others as you would have them do unto you, hell is upon you. When you overeat to the point that you're obese and have become unattractive, hell is upon you. When you continue to have health problems because of obesity and lack of exercise, hell is upon you. When you smoke, knowing that smoking is a poison, and your children and others have to inhale this consistently, hell is upon you. When you're being mistreated and abused by that special person in your life, and you stay in the relationship because you believe you are at fault, hell is upon you. When your children control you and your household, and you're too weak to do anything about it, hell is upon you. And finally, when you do not allow your children to unite with God, and you wonder if they are crazy or if you are crazy, hell is upon you. My book is dedicated to all black colleges and universities, in addition to my family, because it was the black university that really made me. And I didn't know anything about black universities living in Connecticut until I entered the Army. But I had an experience in Talladega. The one time I agreed to go into Anniston, Alabama, there was a young man who was in my outfit who lived in Anniston at the college, Talladega College.
Right.
And he invited me to go with him to his home and to visit my first black college. And that was the motivation that I received on that college campus, because I never knew that black colleges existed. But that particular college made me realize that when I got out of the Army, I wanted to go to a black college, and I went to Florida A&M University, and they molded my life. And it was there that I recognized that black people can become somebody. And I was able to learn about history, black history, not his story, because we were taught his story as opposed to history before that. But I learned about black history, and I did a lot of research, and I was very proud of my people, very proud, right.
Good.
So there you are. I will always love black universities
Gotcha.
and colleges. Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jenkins.
Okay.